Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to another video of Ground of Aces. It's been a little bit since we've checked out this game, and since then there have been several updates, and maybe one other one that I could think of, but I know that they recently when I say recently, I mean within the last couple months, they recently released a update that allowed you to create a hospital, medical units, and stuff like that, and I know at the time of this video, I could be mistaken, but I think they released a update that allowed you to customize your planes and your ground personnel, like their uniforms, their faces, their hair, all that stuff like that. But we're going to get in here and we're going to immediately start checking some things out. We got into the game and we immediately launched a mission. Apparently, since the last time we played, this was already being undergoing. So the last time that we left off at, I cannot remember. I do know that we spent some time building a munitions bunker um, right here. So it's just a small little thing. Took us a lot of munitions and stuff like that. And then over here we created a small little field HQ. So it doesn't look like they added different types of more buildings and stuff like that and everything else. But today, what we are going to be doing is creating ourselves a hospital. So the way that we originally had this all planned out was that this was going to be the airfield, the airstrip, and everything else. We have two airstrips here, two tier 3s, and then we have another tier 3 that has a little bit longer than both of these right here at 160. And then we have a dirt one that's right here. This dirt one, I'm not entirely all too certain why it was created. I think I was testing something. So the airplanes take off from here and then up. So there's no way to change the location of where they take off at. So we're going to have to, in our own lore wise, create like a little road right here that allows us to get down through here because we're going to create some hangars down here eventually for our bomber planes. I don't appreciate the fact that they both take off at the same way. I don't like that. I think that's definitely something that should be changed. As you can see, we have a short um, view of resources that are going on. So, uh, looks like we're missing some medicine. I'm assuming that's medicine right here. And that's a given, and we're missing medicine because we have not played since the last video that was released. Um, but without that being said, I think what we are going to do is, so right here's a minor storage area, munitions area. This is a storage area. I think what we are going to do is create a hospital right here. So we've already got this mainstay area played out. So right here's a barracks, and then here's the field kitchen, and then here's the resource stockpile for food and everything else for the base. Then here's our cobbled together workshop area and everything else for outside use and stuff. So with that being said, what we are going to do is get our troops. There are no water. Interesting. Okay, that's no big deal. So, but what we are going to do is, depending on what we can do with everything. I'm just taking a look at our stuff real quick. Looks like our light bomber interception was successful, and they should be coming back soon. I do know that they reworked the missions, so okay. So we're on week 22. This is our overview of our crew. Airplane shop. I don't think they added any new planes, to be honest with you. No, they have not. At least none that I can see. I could be wrong. And then it doesn't look like we have the meaning of choosing the camouflage skin for the aircraft. So that is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, that makes sense. I'm just getting reacquainted real quick. All right, so what we were going to do is all this stuff right here. So this is our little outhouse. So this is going to be moved um, because this no longer serves a distinction for us. So it doesn't look like I can actively move the thing. So we'll move that later. We're going to move it right over here where this rubbish pile is. And then we will go ahead and get started. So we have an excess of bricks, metal, and we're not going to do tarps, but we have a real large amount of cement. So, but we are not going to build with cement. What we are going to do, can I still not cut that tree down? Is that not possible? Can I cancel that then? No. Can I? Okay. Okay. So, game's not perfect. It's still in early access from my understanding. But we're going to go ahead and build ourselves a floor out of wood. And we're going to button it up against this wall here. Well, not the wall, but the little area. We're going to go ahead and do a 11, no, a 12 by 10? I don't like that. We'll do a 10 by 9. That'll be perfect. And then we'll get in here. Just go ahead and get this going here. Create a door there. And then do a 2-bay window. And then we'll figure out the room storage ways going on in the inside momentarily. I like this actually. So we'll do this. And then directly inside. So we're just going to create like a secondary wall barrier here. And then in this room will be the doctor's room. We'll create a door there. So while these guys are taking the time to build that, we are waiting for the water ponds to respond. And then, let's see, what else were we doing here? I think we were getting ready to build the hangars, if I remember correctly. So I think that we decided to leave these 3 hangars here, so we'll go ahead and get that going while we are waiting for everything else. Did they add any more workbenches? It does not look like they have. There's no additional stuff going on here. Wait, what is that? Okay, there might be some new things. I would like to create a training building, so that is something that I would really like to create, which we'll get to that. Okay. We are going to start. What's the difference between the 2 walls? Windowed wall, roof and doors. Okay. Excuse me. We're going to recess this one if I can, so that way the walls don't come out to everything. We're just going to create a clear your way here for a moment and then figure out what to do from here. So, okay. So once those get built, that'll be the start of our very first portions of our hangar. It looks like we have another mission going on, light bomber interception. So, of course, naturally, we are going to go ahead, and he does not look very happy. Okay. It's okay. This guy has 85 health, so I don't want to send him up. So we'll send these two gentlemen up. Not in the Blenhelm. Absolutely not. Why would you do that? There we go. Alright. So, in order to create barracks and stuff like that back here, we are going to have to harvest, unfortunately, these trees here. And whatever might be down here. We'll go ahead and chop down the trees here. So that way just for realism, we won't have to worry about any incoming aircraft to being damaged. And I would have liked if they managed to, we'll chop down that whole section down here. And we'll chop down these additional trees here. So our hospital is doing pretty good. Not too bad. It's getting built pretty quickly with the means of what we have going on. Got more planks being made and everything else, so we don't necessarily have to worry about all too much. So, I'm not gonna worry about too much about that, and I will see you guys once the hospital is built and we can start decorating. Okay, so real quick, we have our very first scramble alert going on. Our men are manning the anti-aircraft guns like they are supposed to. Looks like we have a couple of gentlemen that are not capable of doing so because they are either hurt or not. Our hospital is still not finished at all. Our planes are in the progress of taking off. Good luck, gentlemen. Hopefully you guys make it all in peace. They added into the update where the planes fight over on top of the base. So, hopefully, we get to witness a portion of that. I do not understand what this gentleman is not doing. Excuse me there, sir, but I need you on this gun. Yeah. Some of them are taking cover. They should not be taking cover. They should all be committed to the defense. Every one of them. Right. So, with the scramble in progress, I'll see if this air battle, epic air battle, is going to be taking place over on top. If not, well. Alright, so our aircraft only shot down one, and several of them have been damaged. So hopefully this goes well for us, because if not, we are absolutely going to be screwed. So fortunately, here they come, our bombers and stuff like that. I thought maybe they were supposed to be doing an overview of our planes still fighting and shooting at these guys, but that apparently is not the case of action. So we lost our distillery area. Looks like we're gonna lose our storages. Yep. What a shame. That was a devastating hit to us. At the utmost accord, we lost a lot of resources in that battle. That is a absolute loss for us right here. So now our men and everything have to clean up. We lost the vast majority of our material stores and our resources completely due to the sheer amount of enemy firepower that just happened to us. So we learned a couple of valuable things, but we are now desperately in need of everything that we've already worked for. So we now have to redo our order shipments, unfortunately. So we will get rid of the simple medicine. Do we have simple medicine? No, it looks like we are out of that. So the food stores wasn't touched, so that is a very big win for us, for the most part. As unfortunate as it is, I still don't know what camouflage does. I just don't know what that is. So, it is a shame. It is a definite shame that we lost the vast majority of that. But we are also going to have to yeah. What a shame. Get a anti-aircraft gun for over here. Hopefully the next time it will happen. They won't come from that direction. So it's not the first time they've came from that direction, but it was the first time that they've sent that large of a force. So it's unfortunate, but we'll get it going. Okay. So even with the loss of what happened and everything else, we are rebuilding quickly using temporary tarps and stuff like that. The barracks is getting under control now. Our hospital is completed. Yes, it is in fast mode. So we are going to go ahead and knock down to speed here. I think these are ready to be harvested again. They are, so that is a good thing for us. We will get those momentarily. So we are going to go ahead, and we're missing some things. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. If I can remember how to do that. Yes. So we are going to get a couple of these hospital beds going. So this is going to be a 2-bay area. This is going to be a 1-bay area for those who like a little bit of privacy. Not too much. So we are only going to add tarps into this one. And the reason why is because we are limited on resources for now. So we're going to go ahead and add the walls for this. There we are. And then we're going to go back and get a medicine cabinet. We're going to build that there. And build ourselves a ruler. If I can get it to work with me right. There we go. Oh, we can divide. We'll do divider curtains ourselves. Nice. And we'll get a hand wash bowl outside here. And then we will get a divider. There we go. And we will add another cancel the construction of that one. Go. There we are. And then of course we are going to add our own. Create a sleeping area for our one and only doctor, probably. So. And then we will get a couple of decorations. There we go. And we'll get a attention. Attention poster. We are apparently out of tarps now, which doesn't make any sense considering that we had a whole bunch of those, but I didn't think building that storage area back up would do me in that much. And looks like our floor for our barracks is ready to be replaced. This is supposed to be another storage area. I was going to turn it into a latrine area, actually. That's what I was going to do. So we'll actually do that. And let's see what all needs to be built up here. So with another devastating attack, our planes returned from a mission and we ended up losing a couple of them. It's unfortunate, mainly due to the fact that we have very little victory points because we lost 2 fighters a couple missions prior to this. Sadly, it is nothing that we can really. We are running insanely low on supplies due to the constant air raids that are taking place. So, we also unfortunately lost 2 of our service members, unfortunately. It is taking an obscene amount of time to get things done. So, it looks like we actually lost 3. Yeah, looks like we lost a lot of people actually. That is unfortunately not a very good thing. So, we are going to go ahead and create some additional grave sites. Hopefully, in the future, we will not lose any more. So, we have been losing members left, right, and center, unfortunately. There's nothing that we can do for the most part. So we are going to hire 2 additional ones, and these are going to have to be torn apart. So for the meantime, we can fill our ranks with Gloucester Gladiators. I was going to buy this transport aircraft because we keep getting transport missions. So once these are clear and everything else, we will go. The war is not doing us very well. So we do have a pending mission. We still have a transport. So actually, we are going to go ahead. No available parking spots. Well, that was not going to happen, unfortunately. Does not look like we have an additional pilot to spare, so. We'll get those going. We'll have to skip that transport aircraft one, unfortunately. Hopefully, our troops can work on disassembling these 2 aircraft here. Um, we do unfortunately need way more ground crew than what is originally called for, due to the fact that we are struggling for the most hand and with the lack of overall morale. And I don't understand how the injury management system works, because I have a nurse, but she's not tending to the wounded. And I do not understand exactly how to do anything about that. So these guys are going to run out of fuel, so we're going to have to skip this one. And, alright. So, fuel is needed desperately. And, we'll get 2 shipments of fuel, 2 things of medicine, and, we are also going to desperately be needing, see, that's the hard part. Go ahead and get some metal in here too. Alright, this is going to be our last scramble alert for the day. Our bases came along pretty well. We have our minor field hospital set up. It was bombed in the last area. Destroyed this whole bedroom over here, so I had to hurry up and rebuild it all. But we're going to keep with the tarps inside. I kind of like the look of it, utilizing the tarp and the divider system and stuff like that. Kind of gives it a feel of it being a permanent, but a spot that's able to be taken down just in case if there's mass casualties and cramped full of beds and stuff like that. So we got the latrine finished. I was supposed to do that the last time. Excuse me. We played this, but didn't do that. So we built the latrine and took down the latrine that was over here. I built pathways to each respectful area and around, so that way we have a more finished look to the base for the most part. The next couple of episodes, we're going to be working on a couple additional buildings in this area. This is basically going to be the building area, residential area, and stuff like that for some of the base and most of the base for workshops and stuff. This area is probably just going to be a wide open area, maybe a couple of bunkers for additional ammunition and supplies, because it's clear that these wooden buildings here, I like using them because they look pretty good for stockpiles and stuff like that, but they are not doing very well for us when it comes down to anything else, because they keep getting bombed, unfortunately. We did buy an additional anti-aircraft gun. I placed it over here alongside the cliffside, and then we moved from this anti-aircraft gun closer to the base, away from the base, so that way we can have a better hope of intercepting aircraft coming in. This one will more or less likely stay here, and we'll place another anti-aircraft gun probably like right here eventually, or over here on this side. And then we'll have a couple more anti-aircraft guns on this side, because we're going to have a one of these runways are going to be running left. So this one will stay here, but depending on where we can put it is where it will depend on anything else, really. I did think about putting it here, running it this way for heavy-based bombers and stuff like that, but we'll just have to see how it is. So looks like we shot down a fighter and 3 medium bombers, not medium bombers, I'm sorry, light bombers, which in the German aspect would be their Ju-87s. And then it looks like we have 1 Ju-87, 4 fighters, and 3 He-111s coming in. So, Stukas. But go ahead and see where these guys are coming in at on the cliffside, like I figured for the most part. So, hopefully, these guys are all going to get shot down. be nice if we could tell the anti-aircraft guns to target bombers and stuff only, instead of the fighters. So, but we did shoot them all down, so this anti-aircraft gun right here came into pretty big clutch. So we might want to get a MG nest up, which would probably do us some good, because they added in a Vickers gun, which is just a light MG gun. And then on the next update, they're going to be adding in the 20mm Oerlikon. I don't know. I know for a fact I just completely botched that. But it'll come in very good hands for us. I feel like, especially when it comes down to the aesthetic of the base. Hopefully the machine guns aren't as big as the Bofor guns, because I would love to dot the runways with the machine guns. I feel like that would work pretty good for us. Excuse me. I don't know why I am suddenly very coffee. So another thing. Also, we ended up getting a transport aircraft. We lost our Blimhelm, which we'll replace the Blimhelm. But we ended up getting a transport aircraft, and I like the fact that it's got lettering on the side here. Merlin. Oop, what the world is going on here? So, I do love the skins in this game. The skins for this game is amazing. They are absolutely amazing. Behind enemy lines drop. Is that something that we can utilize our transport aircraft for? Yes, it is. Ooh, but attaching a fighter to it is a no-no. Okay. Excuse me. That's fine. But yeah, so we struggled with this episode so far with bombing runs. We lost the vast majority of our resources. Absolutely ruined everything that we had going for us, especially with the large amount of resources that we had built up to utilize and build the base further. Unfortunately, due to the bombing runs, kind of ruined that. So unfortunately, this warehouse here is utilizing most of the stored goods, tarp services and stuff like that and everything else, while this was using our more intermediate building goods, concrete, wood, metal, all that stuff. And well, so it looks like we're gonna have to build concrete bunkers, because this bunker right here took a literal like pounding. I caught it on recording, but I'm not going to showcase that. But that's how all these rocks and stuff over here got damaged. I had to rebuild these 2 or 3 times, because they just kept getting bombed. So, but they tried to go for our munitions bunker, and it did not work very well for them. So, I think we will utilize our storage depots out of concrete. And then this is our HQ building that we built maybe an episode or so ago. Looks nice. Kind of wish that there was more HQ type stuff going on, but we cannot be too picky with a game that isn't early access or alpha. Well, never mind, I guess it's only in early access now. Okay. We're just going to go ahead and harvest some of the sand real quick, so that way when I load in the next time, I ain't got to worry about it too much. Oh, that's also the other thing. Built some additional parking spaces here. So these parking spaces are going to be hangars. It's going to mirror the same design as this one here over to here. It's just shifted up by 1 space because I can't utilize it due to the cliffside here. So, and within the next episode or 2, we will fill this back half in with no worries. So, hopefully, we don't have to worry about these things getting bombed. I mean, they're going to get bombed. There's no effing buts about it. But hopefully not anytime soon, because they are expensive to build. And I mean absolutely expensive. But I appreciate you guys watching. If you guys found this video fun or liked it in any way, please leave a thumbs up. I'm going to start pushing that. I know I said that I don't really care to do it all too much and let you guys know in the videos or whatnot, but I would really do appreciate if you guys like the video. It helps push the video out and allows it to go to a better audience. So, but I appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you, and I will see you next time.